Hello everybody, Kip Teitsort here with an episode of Chronicles of a Culture Changer from DT4EMS. And today what I'm going to do is actually give credit to a couple of guys. One is a person who just finished a DT4EMS class not too long ago, and the other is one of our DT4EMS instructors. First of all, I'd like to say a shout out to Jeff Dennison. He's in Illinois, paramedic in Illinois, and he took the class recently, and he made a comment about what we're trying to do with the DT4EMS culture changing movement. And he said, you know, it's ironic that we train for the common, which is bloodborne pathogens. And he says, and then we train for the extreme, which is, you know, Ebola. He said, but why aren't we training for the extremely common, which is violence in healthcare? Great question, isn't it? And then I have to give a shout out to Tony Huey, who is one of our instructors, who's also an RN in Indiana. And he made a comment today trying to point out, you know, what really happens with violence in medicine. Because here's the deal. The media picks up on a lot of the potentially lethal in nature calls or situations that occur in healthcare, but they very rarely address the ones that are the day-to-day occurrence, that extremely common where just because you get beat up on the job and don't die doesn't mean that it didn't change you. And so that's why one of the sayings that we have with DT4EMS is that not all assaults on healthcare are life-threatening, but I guarantee you this, every single one of them is life-changing or life-altering. And so here's kind of an example that Tony used this morning, and I absolutely loved it, so I'd like to share it with this episode of the Chronicles of a Culture Changer. And basically, if you take a look at this piece of paper, and if you look at it, let's talk about this is me, and then on the day that my ambulance was carjacked, this is what took place. So, although I didn't die, it didn't kill me. If you really take a look at it, I was changed forever. Nothing you can do will put me back to the way that I was before that carjacking incident occurred. And so, added to this episode of Chronicles of a Culture Changer, just like this piece of paper, I'm going to share a couple of things with you that have to do with a person who has actually never attended one of our classes yet, but she will. And her name is Lynn Briggs. Lynn was violently attacked on a call, and like so many other providers, just like myself, received no real support from anybody around. Everybody wanted to think that it was just part of the job. So connected to this, I'm going to share a couple of seconds of the audio of when she was attacked, and then I'd like for you to look at a couple of pictures. I don't have anything to say. I'm going to let you look at those pictures yourself, and then ask yourself this. If you know this is going on, why aren't more of us acting like me, some of our other instructors, some of the people that have taken our classes, and standing up just like Lynn? Because here's the thing. So far, Lynn and I have done a couple of interviews together, radio interviews. She's been on different outlets trying to help bring awareness to the problem that is violence in medicine. But for so many people, they're so embarrassed after that it happened that it's become like the dirty little secret. I can't count how many times I've been interviewed by either radio or television stations where I've had dozens and dozens and dozens of people tell me their personal story, but as soon as the camera starts to roll or that on-air light for the radio comes on, people clam up and they don't want to discuss it. I get it, I understand it, but understand that we are here for you at the same time, but we will not make this any better if we don't work together. So watch a couple of these things here real quick. Just take a quick look at these pictures and tell me, do you think, even though Lynn didn't die, was she changed forever? Guys, I'm Kip Teitsort. Check this out and I'll see you soon.
Amherst from A1. We need PD here right now, please.